Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, the Kayla B, and I'm back. Happy New Year. I'm so excited to be able to deliver this content in a new and reformed way. So first off, I just want to kick this year off and just thank everybody who's supported me thus far in this journey and helped me. About 2 years ago. As you guys know, I've switched my content to really focusing on helping people get in tech. But for many of you who may be new to my channel, new to my Instagram, or whatever platform that you may see this on, I just want to kind of give a quick introduction on who I am and what brought us here. So my name's Kayla Burke. I am currently in enterprise sales at Microsoft. I live in the Atlanta area. I've been in the tech industry now for about 8 years, and more specifically in tech sales for about 6 years. So I'm really excited to be able to deliver this session with you all where we're gonna dive into everything tech sales. So if you've been interested in making this transition in your career, have no fear. I'm definitely gonna lead you guys and tell you all that you need to know when it comes to roles, when it comes to how you can get in, how you can take a course to transition in. And I'm hoping that this will encourage you to get out there, really go ahead, sign up and go ahead and get into a course that can help transition your career. So if you're ready, let's get started. So many of you may be questioning, what is tech sales? Tech sales is basically being able to help businesses solve their technical challenges internally. You heard me, it's that simple. How can we take business problems that businesses have every day and then move into a B2B or business to business selling model? What does that mean? It means that you'll be selling software, cloud, services, infrastructures, maybe consulting services, and you're gonna be able to go and have conversations with clients around their initiatives and their challenges and be able to help them solve it. Really great example in simple terms is example. For the past 2 years in my prior role, I was an account executive at a company, and what I was able to do was I was able to help companies to operationalize their governance programs. I was helping them to find a problem in their operations every day, which was that they didn't understand where sensitive information and data laid in their environments. And what me and my team would do is we would go into customer meetings and we'd help uncover and identify opportunities and gaps within their processes to help them to solve these challenges and prescribe them a solution that not only can help keep our data safe, but find it. I do think that there is such a ton of pros that come with this job when it comes to being able to work remote, being able to have a really uncapped and high earning potential, the job mobility within companies to be able to move and direct yourself whatever that career path may be for you internally, as well as travel if you are in field sales. So with that being said, I do want to give you some industry statistics on why I think this is a great move right now. So by 2025, it's expected to reach a $469 billion market cap within this industry, growing at about 12% annually. I mean, there's unlimited potential to make crazy earnings here. I've done it, a lot of people I know have done it, and I can't wait to get into this next segment on compensation. I told you guys I wanted to keep it simple. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the numbers now. What do you actually get paid? So everyone's convincing you to join tech sales. You're seeing it online, you're seeing it on TikTok. It's really explosive right now. But what's the perks? What do you actually gain from this, right? So I wanted to just give you a high and low end of what your earning potential can be. So on the high end, I just did some research and I thought this was really cool. But right now, the #1 company that's providing the highest sales tech or tech sales package on the market right now that I can see online is saying that as a Google Cloud account executive on a strategic level, they're on average making about $350,000, and their highest earners are even clocking in over $860,000. You heard me, almost $1 million. I do know multiple millionaires who have been built through this industry. It won't happen overnight, but the fact that you have the potential to earn so much money is such an amazing job. What I also think that is really cool about this is most of these positions require no degree and no prior education. You usually just need to have a really strong sales or client and people relations type of background. Imagine having no degree and having the potential to earn up to $1 million. Seems like a win-win to me. On the low end though, let's say you're entry level, let's say you're not a strategic account executive, which is kind of the highest place that you can be as a seller, you can be on the lower end. So you might be in an SDR or BDR position, which is a sales development representative or a development representative. And what you're able to make in those positions is somewhere around 85 to about 110K a year on average right now in the US, which is still amazing to come out of school, maybe not even go to school, have no degree, and be in an entry-level position, still making six figures or over. So now that we've talked about the high end, let's just talk about what, on average, most people are making. So most people, right now, the average account executive at Microsoft is making about $140,000 in base. And when I say earning potential, I'm talking about a compensation package. So what is a compensation package? A compensation package in sales consists of your base compensation, which is what you'll receive in your every 2-week check. And then you'll be also having commission checks, or bonuses is what some people call it, but the commissions that you'll make on the $1 million deals that you are closing in software sales. So what does that typically look like? For example, you may have a 40-60 package, or you may be on a percentage per deal basis. I'll give you perfect examples of that. When I was in a position, I would have a base. So let's just make this simple and easy. Let's say your base is $100,000 and your OTE, or your on target earning potential, is about $250,000 for the year. What that means is that you'll get paid $100,000, so six figures, broken up over the year every 2 weeks. After that, every 90 days, when the quarter closes, you'll have a quota that you have to hit a certain amount of revenue attainment for. And once you hit that, you'll get paid out. So sometimes that may be paid in cash, where you just get a check. And perfect example of that is I may have a $2 million deal that I close, and I may be on a percentage of only 10% of that deal. So I would make $200,000 off closing that deal. These are just figures that I'm throwing out so you can use it and understand with easy numbers. On the low end, for entry-level positions right now, if you are coming into this industry as an SDR or a BDR, and we'll get into what all these roles are in our next segment, if you're coming into the industry, you're probably gonna make on average between $85,000 to $110,000. Either way, most of these positions require no degree, and they require no prior technical experience. Mostly, to enter, you need sales experience. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, I'm gonna talk to you guys in my next segment, and we're gonna talk about the roles and responsibilities that you may have in this industry. What we'll do in our next session is talk about all the roles that you can possibly have and what the career journey actually looks like. Once you take this position, where do you have the potential to go within a company? So throughout this journey, as I've started this tech sales journey, what I've come to realize is a lot of people don't really look into the future when they're choosing a job role. And why it's important to do planning around your future, your role in your career, is to properly understand and evaluate every so many years how you're progressing and understand what promotions that you need to be in line for. So when we talk about the sales career journey, I want to break down all of the roles that you can possibly get into in this industry, and what does that trajectory look like once you actually do that and move out of an entry-level position. So let's get started. The first role when you get into tech sales that you'll have is called a SDR or a BDR. What do those mean? A SDR is a sales development representative, and a BDR is a business development representative. They're pretty much used interchangeably, and what it's telling you is that you're pretty much on the hunt. You're in a hunting role, and your responsibility at the core is to be able to drive opportunities and bring them to tenured sellers that are able to then foster the connections in those relationships and close those deals. What does that look like? You're pretty much going to be hunting and doing what we call prospecting in sales, building pipeline, and then passing that off to account executives. So what's the next step after you are SDR or BDR? It's actually being an account executive. Within being an account executive, you then move up, and your responsibilities not only include prospecting, which is a skill that you learn in your prior role, but now you're tasked with being able to actually build relationships, manage accounts, and have a dedicated territory that you're forced with working, as well as having a number attainment rather than an opportunity attainment number. You're forced to now close deals and bring in revenue. This is the fun place. This is where you get to negotiate. This is where you get to travel to your clients, do on-site, create statements of work with them. The list is endless. But if this seems interesting, it gets even better. So after you've sold on the biggest accounts and you move through small and middle business as an account executive, then you move up to enterprise accounts, and the biggest accounts will then be strategic accounts. Once you've mastered those, you typically move into management. After management, you can move into a director role. And if you're really looking to shoot for the stars and really climb up the ladder at a company, after that, you would pretty much be moved along into a C-suite executive role if you choose so. But maybe you don't want to go the management route. What are the possibilities once you're actually in the tech industry in sales? Are you limited? Do you have to stay in that position? Absolutely not. You also have mobility within tech companies from being in sales. Some of the areas that you may be able to dive into after you've completed a successful tech sales career would be customer success management. Maybe you want to do program management. Maybe you want to now do client relations and become a client executive. Maybe you just want to simply become on the deployment side. Maybe you want to become a sales engineer. There are tons of roles that you can join within a tech sales organization. And if you don't want to become an AE, I left out sales engineer. If you are more technical and look for more challenges and would rather interact with your clients on a technical level based on the infrastructures, architectures, and how it integrates into their environments, a sales engineer role would be best for you. That's pretty much the career journey wrapped up in simple terms. And what is here to show you is that no matter what job you take initially, you have so much room to grow and the potential is endless. So now that we've talked about the roles that you can get into, what I really want to dive into in this next video is being able to explain what the day-to-day responsibilities actually look like. What do we actually do? What do you wake up and envision when you think about being in tech sales? I'm here to tell you that our day-to-day consists of prospecting, which is going on the hunt, and using tools like a CRM. So let's take Sales Navigator as a prospecting tool and a CRM such as maybe Salesforce or MSX. These are softwares that you'll need to be familiar with when you are looking to transition into this role. And that's also one of the reasons I stress the importance of going to some type of sales school or getting some type of fundamental training through a course so you understand the tools that you're needing to use on your day-to-day job. So once you're done prospecting and actually looking for customers to build these relationships with, you're typically then managing and progressing deals. So let's start with managing a deal. What's entailed? You're typically going to have to interact with your customer through emails and phone calls. You'll be constantly going back and forth with them to do discovery calls, understand and uncover their challenges within their organization, bring in the right stakeholders that are involved. Maybe the budget may need to be approved. Maybe you may need to get allocation of funds. So being able to identify the right stakeholders within an organization, as well as being able to have a champion within that organization to help you pull them into the meetings as they progress is really what's key. You're also going to be able to, do redlining and have to send things and documents over to legal. You'll have to look over statements of work. What does the scope of this work of deployment look like for this customer? How can we put this in their environment? These are all the things that you're thinking of. You'll also be doing things like territory management, account planning, and being able to really just go ahead and be super organized, super tidy, have everything locked in key, and be responsive, build great relationships with your customers, and most importantly, be an advisor to them to really solve their technical challenges that they may have within their organization. That kind of sums up what the day-to-day looks like. And if you haven't, I do have a video up on my YouTube channel where you can see a live work from home video with me and spend the day working at home. Right now, after COVID, things have shifted a little bit in this market, but prior to COVID, we would travel a lot. So being able to get out there, really fly out to your clients is a really great experience as well. In between that, we're pretty much doing product and enablement learning on a day-to-day basis to make sure we're up to date with pricing around our products, any new releases that may come out, and anything that may be trending in the technology market or in the accounts that you're responsible for, so that you can have more enriched and value-driven conversations with your customers. I hope that this has been helpful, and I hope you have a better insight into what we pretty much do every day as account executives and enterprise sellers at organizations. So this is gonna be kind of like a bonus round where I kind of give you guys some of my sales secrets that have really helped me. So if you don't know, I've actually been a consistent top performer in every single organization, being within the top 5 in any company that I've been in my sales organization, as well as being a 2-time #1 seller. So with that being said, here are a few tips that I can offer up if you're new to this journey and looking to really accelerate in your career. One, I would say having organization is key, guys. Like, you have to be extremely organized. I'm super meticulous when it comes to my account planning, the detail that I show around prospecting, knowing when to follow up, being prompt with my customers, having relationships, right? I've had customers that even have my cell phone number that can text me if they're having challenges or need me to bring in and get other people involved. It's about curating an experience where your customers feel like you're really an advisor to them instead of trying to sell them something. You don't want to go into your conversations when you are having customer-client meetings very talkative is the best way that I can put it. I'm very quiet. I love to talk. I love to have conversations with people. But something that I've always heard and kept very, very dear to my heart throughout my sales career is active listening. The skill of being able to really understand what your client's needs are really stems from being quiet and being able to actively listen and ask and uncover the right questions. A perfect example of this is when I have customers and I'm really looking to get them talking, I want to ask open-ended questions. I want to give them this room and the floor to feel comfortable to tell me some private things, right? Their budgets, their fiscals, knowing, what's going on internally. They may have competitors that they may not want to know this information. How do you get someone to trust you as their advisor? Is really simple. To get somebody to trust you as their advisor, you need to be an expert. You need to be really well versed in whatever it is that you're trying to help them understand. Imagine getting on the phone with me and you're asking me questions and I may not have the answers. You may not have all the answers in sales, but one, being able to follow up with the right answers, allocate the right people on your call so that if you know this question may be asked, you have the support on that call, and being able to create a synergy with the team that I work with. If I have a partner, we do a lot of internal meeting prep before we get on a meeting. Note taking is really, really, really important in sales because if you miss the details, you really can't go back in and strategize with your team on what you need to execute on your next calls. Those are a few tips that I would say have really accelerated my sales career. They seem simple, but I promise you, if you keep those in mind on your journey, it'll take you a very long way. I hope that this session has been awesome. Really just wanted to be able to answer all the questions that I get in my DMs, really advocate for why I'm in this space, how I've been able to rise to the top multiple times and close so many deals successfully. I hope that you've enjoyed this journey, and I cannot wait to see you transition your career or make that move into tech sales. If you're not aware, be sure to check out all the links. I do offer one-on-one consultation services. As I mentioned before, I helped between 30 to 40 people last year make this transition into the tech industry, and the feedback is awesome. I also have been able to really help people get placed into the Course Careers program. Be sure to use my code K50 if you're looking for $50 off, but you also can pay in the payment plan. You also can use the free course that they have just to get an idea if the course is actually for you. I'll leave all those links below, and it's been my pleasure.